You're Italian. Who's driving the plane?
It's Zoe.
You're an ethnicity, and I'm an ethnicity, and you're an
Dude.
ethnicity.
And Zoe's white as fuck.
And there are
Who's flying
towers
the
over
plane?
there.
Alice, when you said if you were an ethnicity, it sounded like the beginning to like a St. Jude commercial. If you were an ethnicity in
If
need,
you're a minority in need,
I have to pee.
I have to pay.
If you're a minority, you might be.
Cole's gonna go play with his wee wee by himself.
He's gonna go play with his beeper.
What the fuck?
Play with my beeper.
So,
Guys,
Aaron,
don't look. Cole's playing with his beeper.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Aaron, I want to hear more about you smooching a lady.
Waiting
Tell me
on
more.
I kissed a girl today.
Did you like it?
Yeah?
And the taste of her cherry chapstick?
She didn't have cherry chapstick on.
Iridocyclitis.
I met her on Tinder.
Egg in bowl. With.
Oh, Alice. Silly. Aaron's not an egg anymore.
It's you that's the egg,
Don't look
Cade.
at my pants.
I'm not looking
No.
at this. I'm looking at the entire roll of toilet paper in the toilet right now.
You say that so confidently.
What? No, wait, what?
The fucking what?
Sorry, I can't hear you over the two lesbians. Say that one more time, Aaron. Please stop deep throating your microphone. I beg you.
I don't know what happened. I didn't touch it. That's just how I found it.
They're playing with their beepers.
Good for them. I don't need to know.
I just want to pee one time without laughing. Please, everything was comedy gold.
What do you want?
Oh my god, it's like the time that
What?
Cole, you and I were talking about anime. You went to go take a piss and I started.
In the toilet?
You started whispering sweet nothings in my
Just
ear.
throw it in there. Like, there's no water in this bowl because it's a roll.
Can you take a picture and send it to me? Wait, is there piss in it? I want to see piss.
That sounds like formula for a cursed
Oh my god. It's not
Okay, I'm walking out.
Okay. Fellas, get the hell out of here. That's disgusting.
Ew.
It was clean water.
Ugh. That's fucking disgusting.
No, it is. I'm very disgusted with myself currently. But it's for the best.
As you should be.
I'm so impressed.
That is nasty.
As you should be.
That's certified nasty.
How? Fucking breathe again.
Look at this pin I got. It's really cute.
Breathe through their gills.
Focus.
That was so impressive.
Thank you.
I pulled toilet out of the toilet.
Yeah.
I pulled toilet out of the toilet.
I wouldn't have done that.
I pulled toilet paper out of the toilet.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that. You're so brave.
Mommy, I pulled toilet out of the toilet.
Mom.
Vomit, vomit,
I'm a
vomit,
toilet.
vomit,
Full
vomit,
fucking
vomit, vomit.
sword in your hand. Vomit, 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 vomit.
I'm gonna cream.
You're gonna cream? You're creaming? Aaron's currently creaming?
Cream soda.
What the
They're on
fuck
top,
did I
they're
just
on
walk
top,
back
they're on
into?
top. Aaron's creaming?
Cream soda.
Aaron's screaming on me. Get help, please. There's so much
Cream
in
soda.
my nose.
Oh, me say do. Daylight come and me one go home.
You sound like you just inhaled
Dale,
so much helium.
me
Cole.
say Dale. Daylight come
I have something to show you, Cade.
and me one
Gimme,
go
gimme.
home. Anyway.
We ready, gang?
Oh, that's fucking cool.
I saw that. I was like, Aaron, look, it's queer and.
Aaron, it's us in a flag.
The girl that I
Oh,
can't
miss
spot
my
it for me.
trumpet buddy.
Yes.
I miss sitting around the campfire and just making trumpet noises.
That is all we did for 4 hours straight. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's episode of Dungeons and Destinies. Before I continue, I would like to ask all of my players to say hi.
Hello.
Hi, we're back from camping.
We're back from we went
back,
camping
bitches.
for a weekend, and it was really fun. Alice got me sick.
Fucking
Fuck you.
I got Alice sick.
Aaron got Alice sick, who in turn got me sick. That is
And
why
Mirac-
I am sick currently.
And miraculously, I managed to stay healthy the whole time.
So did Carly. Crazy. Anyway,
Carly's healthy
Is
too.
he?
yeah, no, she's
Hell
fine.
yeah.
So if I sound a little nasally with all the characters, that's why. Anyway, I have a couple disclaimers before we begin. Firstly, all the music and ambiance you're going to hear in tonight's episode is made by the wonderful Michael Gelfi. Check him out on YouTube and Spotify, along with his partner Philip Melvin. That's Michaelghelfi. Check him out, they are great composers, and do some pretty fantastic and epic stuff. Next, all the character art you see on screen is made by... the wonder... Jesus Christ, listen to my voice. Is made by the wonderful Alice, the player for Magnus. Chances are you're checking this out from either of her channels, either Twitch or YouTube, so make sure to give those a follow because she's hilarious and really good at what she does! Also, all the maps and tables you see on screen are made by me using free assets such as FA Mapmaking. FA Mapmaking stands for Forgotten Adventures. They're great, they have a ton of free assets, so check them out. Pay them some money. You don't have to, they're free, but you can buy like pre-made maps and stuff. Lastly, we have a TikTok for, what, like 4 more months until the ban supposedly goes through?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, have I
that was
mentioned...
finalized?
Oh, yeah, no, it got
A
passed.
long time ago.
That was like in January, my guy.
Well, no, I knew
Um,
that. I thought it just wasn't completely...
Nah, like that house like fully was like, nah, we don't want this. Unless you sell to an American company, bye-bye TikTok. Anyway,
He was Singaporean.
Anyways,
I feel like that's not relevant information to add here, Kate.
It wasn't China.
He
Fucking dipshits.
he wasn't Chinese, he was Singaporean.
I know.
it
I know.
doesn't matter. I want to be a nerd.
Alice, please send me that whenever we're done. Please clip that.
Yeah, okay, I will.
It doesn't matter. I want to be a nerd. Okay, check out Dungeon and Destinies. That's DungeonAnddestinies, and give us a follow. Now, would anyone else like to say anything before we start tonight's session?
I'm scared.
You
Again.
Should, you should be.
Yeah, I know, because Aaron made this.
Tee.
I
I'm so
made
fucking
it.
excited.
Erin has no idea what's about to happen,
That's true.
but
I know
she
what's
has to
gonna
play
happen.
it like she does. Haha!
Yeah.
Yay! Do you want me to send you the challenges, Aaron?
Yeah.
I'll send it to you right now.
This is gonna be so
Do we
fun.
get to watch?
I'm so
you guys
excited,
get to
kid.
basically enjoy the
Oh
festivities.
no.
Ooh.
Or
I'm
screw
scared.
you.
Aaron, I'm scared.
That's too damn bad.
You got games on your phone?
No. I deleted them.
Okay, welcome back to the ever challengeful world of Aerocretia. So, last time we left off, I can't really remember, but we had finally gotten out of the cave beneath the Emberhide Tower. Bo plant walked to Erathia, where he was immediately arrested for using illegal magics inside the Great Tree. His daughter was taken from him, well taken care of, and thrown into a jail cell that was more like a rehabilitation facility. A jail cell in, like, Sweden, basically. Meanwhile, Rue was dead, Daenerys was dead, Magnus got saved by King...
Thieves.
got saved
Thief
by
King.
the King, the King of Thieves.
Yeah, Greaves.
Greaves, who basically told him, hey, if Bo ever shows his face again, I'm gonna kill him. And Magnus was like, hey, if you ever need anything, you know who to call. And Greaves walked away basically thinking like, I did need something and you failed me. That being said, Magnus then rejoined with King Oslo, who, in a fit of rage and anger, started talking about fighting against the Empire, overthrowing the current Empire. Just kind of over the next 3 days, Magnus was kind of in this blur, and King Oslo told him, like, straight up, like, I have had enough with the Empire. They're not helping out, they're not doing anything, and stuff like that. While that was going on, Daenerys met with the spirit of nature, the very incarnate and being of life itself. Her almost deity, as she is a druid, who gave her a choice. Basically, she could become really super important to nature, to being a druid. The highest honor a druid could ever receive, which was being one of the grove tenders, someone who is indebted eternally to the spirit of nature, and when they die, they get sent to the grove, or the garden as some people know it, and there they spend their eternity tending to life. That came with its own perks. After Daenerys had died, Daenerys, of course, accepted such a high honor and responsibility, and was sent back down to, or not down, but sent back to the overworld, the plane of Aracretia. That is what I missed. And I'm actually so upset that I fucking missed it.
Cole, shut up. No one will ever fucking know.
Okay.
I don't know, Alice might keep this on the real.
No. No one will ever know.
I'm
is
so
no
angry
war.
right
There is no war in Boss
There is no
Sing Say.
war in Boss Sing Say. I'm sick, so I like completely blanked. Have I missed it before?
No.
No, I don't think you missed it. You usually say that whenever we actually start the session after the disclaimers.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to
I
the
know.
wonderful world of Aracretia.
Isn't that crazy? Anyway,
Don't worry, Cole. Nobody will ever know.
Daenerys got sent back to the overworld, being basically told, hey, you are pretty much the last chance to protect life in the mortal realm right now. And you're pretty important, dog, so go on with your bad self. Daenerys came back screaming, mummified, and terrified Magnus and King Ozil alike. Daenerys, unfazed by everything that's happened in the last 24 hours, immediately got to work and told Magnus, hey, we need to go to Arathia if Bo is there, and fix some shit up, yo. I'm paraphrasing here. Daenerys doesn't talk like that,
Verbatim.
although it would be really funny
Verbatim.
if she
I
did.
need to hear Daenerys say yo.
Yo.
Not gonna happen.
Oh, Carly and all the bridge. Anyway, so they did. They found the nearest tree, and much like Bo, plant walked to Arathia.
We haven't finished that yet, but yes.
Okay, thank you. And in doing so, before they left, King Alza was like, hey, just to lay down the law with you, I'm so fed up right now that if you're not back in 3 days, I will declare war on the Greater Empire. Which is more of a threat to say, you better come back alive, than anything. So, welcome back. Daenerys and Magnus. Bo's experienced this once before, but it was too fast for him to really notice, too hurry-minded for him to care, and too worried for him to really think about it. As you step through the precipice of the grassy nighttime knoll behind you of the inner sanctum of Yathor, the buzzing of cicadas and the heat, the sweltering dry heat hitting your backs as the sun starts to go down over the horizon, you step into what feels like almost a claustrophobic hug. The tree itself opens up before you, and you see your destination as you step through, but as you go through, you feel like you're being drawn into the earth. Thousands upon thousands of feet down, shoved into a tunnel that's pitch black for a mere second before you start to see light. that light surrounds you and envelops you and welcomes you, and your shoulders relax and you gain more space, and all of at once you're thrust out. Before you stands, specifically to Magnus, one of the greatest sights you have ever seen. Daenerys, you being Daenerys Baratheon, knew to transport yourself and Magnus to the foot of the House Baratheon. The largest tree outside is where you've spent many nights cooped up reading, thinking, and looking at the stars. Magnus, in front of you is a massive array of floating islands in the sky. You can tell that you are high up from the amount of clouds that move and whisk and push over the islands themselves, creating a thick, dense fog, but only for a moment as the sun above you vaporizes them. Above you, hundreds, if not thousands, of things fly through the air, from ships to birds to... Jesus Christ, Zoe. From ships to birds to even griffins. These creatures are what Daenerys described. A mythical creature you've only ever read about in books. Eagles with lion bodies that are flying through the air, diving, dodging, and weaving with intelligence and fierce power. Among other things, there are hippogriffs, of course, the most common animal that would be ridden here. The other thing is that you see a lot of Aarakocrans, and a lot of different types. Of the two you've seen, a bird of paradise and hawk. I don't know what you are, Daenerys. I'm sorry, I can never remember.
She's a hawk eagle.
Hawk eagle. You also see what seem to be a much smaller form of Aarakocrans, which are like house finch. There are large crow, just jet black Aarakocrans flying through the air. There also seems to be many mixed breeds and types and cases here. From even like a stark red-breasted robin to a very mundane, like just plaid-colored what bird am I thinking of?
A lark.
Sure, a lark.
Larks are plaid.
They all move with a knowledge of the sky like you've never seen before. Like they know what highways there are, what jet streams and gulf streams in the air there can be. This is amazing. And that's nothing to say of the islands before you. Much like what Bo saw, the 4 massive islands are all conjoined by the roots of one massive tree. On an island staring straight across from you, it is the largest tree you have ever seen. That includes the ones that the trunks were used to make the Grand Bridge. This tree is simply massive. Those of which that are too far for the roots to secure, you see ropes being tied and anchored to them to keep them from floating and drifting apart. Houses and markets and almost a simple cityscape litter the landscape. And all of this to say, it is truly beautiful. The next thing you hear, and this is for Daenerys, is the cheering going on. Daenerys, your house, Baratheon, is the only house that has 2 major islands under its wing. House Arathia has most of them that it can call home, but they only control one true island, as it is split between the 5 houses. House Baratheon, Thracian, Aratheon, Sha'al, and House Orotaruk. Knowing this, and seeing the amount of people in the sky, there are a lot more than usual. There's a lot of boats that are taken up, luxury cruises, things like that. And you hear the cheering from the distant island below you. The air up here is very thin, and so sound carries a lot easier due to the fact that there's no interference from the ocean waves below you or from just general other things. And you immediately know there's some kind of festival on. And you're a bit worried because, to your knowledge, there has not been a festival this time of year for a very long time. I will be right back. I just noticed I don't have my fucking dice!
Me jacking off the air trying to find my own dice.
Roll the ghost dice. Paul's Paul's practicing flapping his wings.
Cole gives me Bo Burnham vibes whenever he's at the end of his hallway.
I mean,
I'm ready for well.
are my fucking dice?
Aaron,
Yeah. I'm so fucking excited right now.
I wish I wasn't sad. Because this would be sick as fuck.
Oh well. Guess I'm rolling naked. Okay. Aaron, if you could please give me a history check.
That's a 24.
24. All these dice are spin down! You're not. Using a black polyester dice?
I'm using your Daenerys dice.
Okay. 24. There are three kinds of festivities that could occur at this time of year. One of them, the fact that it is currently... Pull up the calendar. Sorry. The 40th of Akaria, which is right nearing the end of summer, could be a harvest festival that arrived early because House Orochuruk failed to, or not failed, but overplanted. And so they're harvesting early to make up for the fact that they're going to be losing out on crops if they wait long. The second would be something amazing happened, like a great discovery with one of the houses, be it Therasian or Taruk, Arathian, or maybe even the Ja'al, discovering some great new relic of the four elements. The third is a challenge, and a challenge never goes uncelebrated. Bo, you currently stand at the beginning of a line. The man you were talking to, well, Birdman you were talking to, has given you the rundown of what the challenge is going to be. In your cell, he said, well, once you challenge Varus Dorathian, the prince will have no choice but to accept. As he is a prince, he cannot take any loss of honor. That being said, there will be 4 challenges. in total. And whatever ones you win the most of, you win. Fantastic. If you fail them, or fail and lose to him, he will win ultimately.
And that's whenever I become his servant?
Yes. Well, sort of. You could always take the other approach and just duel him, but I don't recommend that, specifically because Prince always gets first choice of weaponry.
He's gonna look down at his lack of a right arm, and he's gonna say, yeah, it's not, exactly my strong suit at the moment.
Oh, don't worry about that. We'll get you fixed up right away. I already have some plans going for something for you. I noticed that you're a little bit crafty when you're anxious. You do fiddle with a lot of items, so I thought we would get you some of the better materials from around the floating isles and give them to you, so you can build yourself a new arm, and we could enchant it for you to make it work just fine.
I don't like how easily you have found out that I fidget with everything that I see. Okay.
As you say that, you watch as he kind of like turns his head to the side like birds do.
Oh.
This is so different. Okay. So I gotta do 4 challenges, you said? And it's
Yes.
is it like a best out of 3 kind of thing, or
If you win the most challenges, then you are to receive the victor's prize, which is him having to do whatever you ask of him, and vice versa. If there is a draw, well, we'll get to that if it happens. That's still hasn't happened in over 270 years, since the rules were last updated, of course.
these rules have been updated?
Oh yes, this is a
Okay.
very ancient tradition, since the founding of Erathia.
Okay. When does it start?
As soon as you challenge him. So, well,
So like now then?
I suppose so, yes. And at that, you watch as he takes out a key from his key ring and unlocks it, and he guides you to House Dorathian. Which Bo and Magnus, seeing House Dorathian for the first time. Oh, actually, Bo, you see the same sight that Magnus does, but you are given the pleasure of taking a very bumpy ride on an airship for the first time. It's a small, not like massive airship like the one Daenerys arrived on, but almost like a fishing boat.
Mhm.
It has 4 large blue stones under each, like, what would be a corner on the boat. And these help levitate it into the clouds. And as you step in, the Birdman... I can't remember his name. Give me a second. Why can't I remember his name? What's your name, buddy? Daenerys, what's his name?
The guard guy?
Yeah, the guard guy.
Fuck. Let me pull my notes.
It starts with an A, doesn't it?
Probably.
I'll look. I'll.
A rock. A
A
rock.
rook. Ah!
A rook. Yeah,
Just
it's a rook. A rook.
It's not just a
A rook.
boulder.
Thank you.
It's a rock.
A rook guides you into the boat and he says, normally I would fly, but, well, you don't have wings. And he steps into the boat behind you and, he simply pushes off. And the stones underneath do the rest of the work. And you are floating over clouds and islands, and you look below you and all you see is an endless vastness of blue, which you can only expect to be the ocean.
Bo immediately gets sky sick.
Sky sick, yeah.
Yeah, he's puking off the side of the boat. Is Lorea there with him?
Lorrea is not here with you, no.
No. Okay, he's just gonna say, "Rock, just turn to your side for a second. I need to... And he pukes off the side of the boat.
We're gonna see if he knows how human anatomy works. He does not. You're not going to save that for a little one?
Oh, get... Huh? What? Huh? What do you mean? You're a bird. You're a bird. That's what you mean. No, Iraq, we don't do that
Oh,
where I come from.
so none of you... All of you have 2 arms, but you don't give each other food. That's very strange.
We make each other food, but we don't do it like that.
How do you have them fed?
You put it on a plate and you hand it to them, and they figure it out on their own.
That sounds very uncouth.
It's sure. No, what I just did was I don't know. Have you ever gotten like sick and puked?
Well, when we get sick, normally we perish.
This is so different. I can't explain these things. No, it was an uncomfortable feeling in my stomach, and I've never been on a sky ship before.
Oh, you mean like eating a Zathrid? I understand. And at that, you keep floating until you reach House Harathian. Bo and Magnus, you both don't ask. The 2 of you see a massive estate, like fucking huge. Not as big as yours, Magnus, when you were growing up. However, it's a lot cooler looking. It has huge arch windows that lead in. Like, it is a completely an open air estate. It has 3 floors and a large domed roof. And under that roof, you can already tell lies what seems to be a small library of sorts. It is covered by ropes that hang down, almost like a rope net, that allow for only the Arathians, the Aarakocrans, to weave into as they're flying. And everything else is just open so that it can allow them to fly and enter at any point.
Shaniris, this is really fucking cool, but like... What the fuck?
Magnus, I would refrain from using obscenities in the city,
Sorry.
especially around my brother.
What the flip?
Just roll a I don't know, what's a good check? There's no culture check.
There's no what's your profanity check.
Yeah.
What is it? Like a fucking... I don't know.
I don't know, wisdom saving throw?
Insight?
Give me an insight check.
Okay.
Magnus, you do the same.
I got a 15.
Dice!
Nice!
I didn't know that got picked up. Normally they don't get picked up.
Normally my autism isn't picked up on mic.
Normally it's not. An insight check?
Yes.
Check or a saving throw? No.
Check.
Okay.
Just check.
13.
Okay. Daenerys and Magnus, you both realize, as you say it, Magnus, what you have said, if you say that anywhere else, it is incredibly offensive here.
My bad. It's, you know. It's been a while.
It's quite alright. Is the portal still open?
No, the portal is closed.
Magnus, one question.
Hmm.
Did you happen to see what happened to my mother? No virus will want to know.
about that. Yeah, she's probably fine.
Insight check.
Roll an insight check. Magus, roll a deception check.
That's what I just rolled.
What'd you roll, Alice?
I'm bad at math. Hang on. 22? 17 plus 5? 22?
I got a natural 20.
Oh, fuck.
Plus what, Aaron?
That's a 25.
Are you lying, Magnus?
Oh, yeah. Magnus has no fucking idea. Like,
Magnus knows that she stabbed herself in the heart and then disappeared.
I need you to tell the truth. I mean,
no, I know. It's just, it's.
As you begin that, Magnus, you hear, and then the talons of at
Halt!
least 4 or 5 guards, rushing up to you. All of their spears are pointed at you, but as soon as they see you, Daenerys, they go, "Oh, we're ever so sorry, lady," and they all bend a knee and immediately go straight down. We did not mean to assume. We didn't know you would arrive. There was no announcement or anything.
yes. I apologize for not sending an announcement. It's a long story. Do you know where my brother and my Aunt Girl are?
They kind of all like look up at each other, and one looks at you and says, my lady, Varus and Gale are at a challenge."
A challenge? At
Yes.
this time of year?
Yes, some human came through and appeared in the great tree, spewing some nonsense about the House Sarathian, and then immediately came and 2 days later challenged Prince Varus to an
Great.
elemental challenge.
Of course he would. I don't know why we thought he would do anything different. So your mom sent him through you. Sent him
so
through to here.
So you do know that she opened a portal then?
Mm-hmm.
What did you say?
I said, so you do know that she opened a portal then?
Mm-hmm. Before she kind
Okay.
of, disappeared again.
Do I remember these guards' names?
Come on, man.
History check and make Aaron make them up.
Yeah.
Terry, Barry, Reginald, Billy, Samwise, Marshall,
Okay.
Bird.
Duck, Goose.
What was the check? A history check?
Quackers.
Give me a history check.
I got it at 15.
Okay, give me a second.
What were you saying, Alice?
Oh,
Can you stop, please? Okay. You remember 3 of the 4's names? There's Gik, Hirid, and Raller. Or Hyrid.
What was the third one?
Gik, Hyrid, and Raller. You don't remember Hirid's name because I don't want to keep saying that one. Hirid?
Yeah. It's. Could you go relay the message that I've arrived? I'd like to make haste in my quarters before I arrive at the festivals, but I do know the human, and he's not going to win this competition.
You watch Gik kind of gives you a nod of understanding. We will prepare your quarters at once. And you look as he looks at the other three and he says, "Make haste and go announce her arrival." And yes, your lady, I do agree. He stands no chance. And he turns around on foot and begins to walk to prepare your chambers. Bo, you are surrounded by at least 300 Aarakocrans in what seem to be all manner of boats and like just watch gear circling you and circling you. At your left stands Prince Varus Dorathian. If it weren't for the size difference, you wouldn't really be able to tell him and Daenerys apart. He is a lot larger of a bird, standing almost up to like your shoulder, whereas Daenerys like hits your mid chest.
And is that perfect motorboat height?
Yeah, beak would be uncomfortable. And he is giving you one of the strongest glares you have ever received. Like, even as like an Aarakocran, you know he fucking despises you.
Have him and I been able to greet each other yet, or?
No, this would be your first time meeting.
Excuse me, Your Majesty. It is very nice to meet you. I'm Bo.
You like wave at him or anything?
Yeah, just like a tiny wave. Just howdy. My name is Bo. Bo Ironbelt.
Prince Varus looks you up and down as he says, what would he say?
Time to get insulted by royalty again.
Bo's favorite pastime.
Yeah. Bo Ironbelt.
Yes.
Truly a name to behold for such a specimen of a lowlife. Do not speak to me for the rest of the challenge. In fact, when I beat you, Bo Ironbelt, my first command will be that you never speak again. Is that understood?
He spits to the side.
Okay. You do that, and you immediately hear the crowd gasp. Very well. And you watch as he steps back and continues to prepare. Currently, you are being given a pack that is incredibly light. Like, this is the lightest backpack you've ever felt. And you watch as Varus shoulders it with a lot of weight. Like, he's like, phew. Like he doesn't normally carry this much weight. Make an intelligence check with advantage, please.
But why does this involve Fae Fiend or Undead?
It does not. It's just you've been around an Aarakocran long enough to understand what is happening.
Okay, before all of this, I do have a question. Have I, like, replenished all my spell slots and my transformations and stuff?
Yeah, no, you've taken a long rest.
I've taken a long rest? Okay, I'm gonna actually...
You've taken 3.
Yeah, okay, I just wanted to make sure. So, intelligence check with advantage.
Did anyone see that?
17.
Sorry, that was...
Why are you this way?
I need to.
It coming straight at the camera was really funny.
So
You got a
Cole,
17?
Yeah, I do have another question.
Yes.
Do I have my gun wand with me?
No.
Cool. I can't cast any spells.
That's not true. You have spiritual focuses.
I do.
Yeah, you're fucking hammer, my guy. Remember?
Yeah, that's right. We'll just say that I took that back from Larea and pretend that
Did you give
Please
it to her?
I put it around her neck.
Oh, then no, you don't got nothing. Sorry.
Can I please have the hammer, Cole?
Oh, I'm
Can I
sorry.
please-
If you gave it to her, you can. I'm sorry.
We could just say that I took it back. Can we flip a coin at least? Give me a
Oh, I'm
fighting
sorry.
chance
If you
here.
gave it to her, I can't give it to you.
Oh, okay.
So with the 17, Daenerys has always carried light. She didn't even carry a bedroll. Erathians aren't very strong. Their bones are hollow, and their muscles are weak because they are birds. With that being said, I got a lot of chocolate in my mouth. Hang on.
Mm-hmm. Kit Kats. Yep.
Hershey's bar, actually.
Oh,
Oh.
splurging.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Kit Kats would be sparkling.
Yeah.
Poor man's chocolate. Hershey's bar. Ugh. Anyway,
Spit at the camera again.
wait, hang on.
No.
No.
Okay. As Varus takes his backpack and shoulders it, Aruk, your advisor gives you the backpack, and as you put it on, he says, "Now, be careful. These bags are very heavy. They're designed to be for the challenge. They're designed to slow you down, because the entire purpose of this challenge is to move as quickly as possible.
Right.
In fact, we've had, in the past, several competitors pass out just from the weight alone.
Okay.
So, how this is going to go. This is the first of 4 challenges. This challenge is the one that belongs to Earth. Each of our challenges respects one of the 4 elements,
Mm-hmm.
and in doing so, we respect the religion of the elements. I believe from where you're from, that's not a thing. But
No.
here in Arathia, we tend to respect all 4 elements equally.
Mhm.
Those are the things that created us and brought us into being. Sort of God, if you will. That being said, please do take very lightly, or not lightly in your tongue, very seriously,
Hmm.
the elements around you. Do not take any for granted, and he leans in close and begins to whisper, whatever you do, do not insult one.
Oh, that I would never.
Very well. This challenge consists of picking a stone. Each challenger will pick each other's stones, and those challengers have to, and you watch as he points to the great tree all the way across the country, basically, which is just a very tall blip on the horizon. Those challengers must take that stone and carry it to the foot of that tree.
The one that I arrived in?
Yes, the tree you came in, yes. And don't go
Okay.
inside, you'll be arrested again.
No, I'm not. I would rather not.
You just take it, and there's a little pile of rocks, or stones, and you'll
Mhm.
place it there. This is the most daunting challenge. Well, it's not the most daunting, but definitely one of the most labor-intensive. The way it goes is whoever gets there first may win, depending on the size of the stone. If you pick a challenger's stone, and say it's very small, and they pick a stone for you and it's very large, then if you were to get there even after them, if it is several times larger than their stone, you will win the challenge.
So I need. Big Rock, good for me.
Big Rock. You speak funny. Big Rock is very much good for you, yes.
Alright.
A larger stone is good if you can make it. However, remember, these stones are not light. I mean, even the backpack you're wearing, I'm sorry, it must be growing weary on your shoulders. If you want to take a seat, you can.
Yeah. My shoulder, it's aching a little bit. I don't suppose there's a way to get this onto my nub, do you?
He's gonna roll an insight check at disadvantage. Okay.
Can I roll a
Under my
deception check?
nub. Ugh.
Oh, and in that pack, I've packed all of the essentials for you to create a new arm, as well as a scroll for enchanting it. That way you can do it along the way. I do think the hardest part of this challenge is walking. You're not, because you're so laden, you're never allowed to fly, or at least most people can't fly. But for you, someone who can never fly, walking is your strong suit. So I assume when you get to the other island, you'll be at a great advantage, even if Prince Varus picks a very large stone. And you can see as he says that, you peer over his shoulder because he stands about shoulder height to you.
So I look above him.
Yeah, you look over him, and Varus is like he's got 10 stones in front of him, each ranging from like a small like little handheld one to like one that's like about that big, maybe 60, 80 pounds. And he's very seriously considering the 80-pound one, basically hoping that it will crush you under its weight so that he can win just outright.
Alright.
That being said, pick a stone around you, and it will be Prince Varus's, but remember, if he gets it there and it's larger than yours, he will win the challenge.
Can I find like a medium to my perspective stone?
Yeah, there's definitely like a couple 20 or 30-pound stones here.
I was looking for something like maybe 30 to 45, but yeah, that works too.
Yeah, sure. There's a large variety of stones in the ground here. It's almost like a stone beach, where you stand. But yeah, you pick a 37-pound stone, say. Wow, that is a rather large one. Are you sure?
Yeah, I think so.
Very well. And Prince Varus looks at you holding the stone in one hand, and he kind of scoffs, and he points to the largest stone on the ground. Very well. And at that, you hear... What instrument would it would be? Trumpets?
Flutes?
Flutes.
Like tin flutes? I don't know.
A tuba.
It would definitely be woodwind instruments.
Like a bassoon.
A clarinet.
You hear a variety of...
Cole, you could have just said that the crows and ravens came out and made their noise.
A wood instrument. Woodwind.
Anyway, you hear a variety of harmonies through woodwind instruments as you hear... Now announcing Princess Dorathian's arrival, back within the floating isles.
Huh?
Please prepare, as she is on her way after making shift and haste with her quarters.
Rock, I know her, but we don't gotta do this if she's here.
You've already made the challenge. You can't back out. That would be an immediate forfeit.
Okay.
Alice being so excited.
I'm so excited. I wanted to watch this so badly. The fact that we get to and the fact that we have to is my favorite.
there's no even if Lady Dorathian herself comes here and says, "Hey, we don't need to do this."
No. If you've made a challenge to Prince Varus Dorathian himself, no one but Prince Varus Dorathian and you can agree on dissuading the challenge. And he looks over at Varus, and he is like, kind of like, the hell, my sister's here? But still getting ready for the challenge.
Okay.
All right.
How do I get the stone to him?
Well, there are 2 boats. You can do whatever you wish with these boats. You can make them lighter, make them heavier. It's really up to you on how you get there. We will supply you with 2 boats, and other than that, food, water, and everything along the way is up to you.
All right. So I'm not okay. Cole, can you explain? So we have 2 boats in front of us.
No, they're not in front of you.
Not in front of. Okay.
No,
So we
he's
have
just
to-
saying you're going to be given a boat each, basically.
Oh, okay.
And you have
I'm
to
s-
make it to the Great Tree.
Okay, I'm sorry. This was just a little difficult to visualize just because I didn't have the full picture. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, no, he's simply just giving you the facts. The boats aren't here yet.
Okay.
Those boats are rather small, like the ones that we came across on. A little bit smaller than that, fit to accompany just one person. With you, it will definitely be a little bit cramped considering your stature. But I do suppose if you want to make any modifications, it's completely within the rule set.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
Very well. Now then, if you would like, please give one large, eloquent bow. Roll a history check for me, Bo, to see if you remember how Daenerys bows.
Oh, come the fuck on, man.
Sorry.
No. Okay. And history check, is that what you said?
History check.
15.
15.
15.
You emulate Daenerys' bow as best as you can, and as you're doing it, you hear the crowd kind of snicker. Oh, you're doing a woman's bow.
Huh?
And as you do that, you watch as Prince Varus very eloquently flourishes his tail feathers and stands back up very quickly, in like a very perfect, refined, practiced bow.
As Varus does that, Bo turns around, looks at his honky tonk badonkadonk as just.
Shake your
I
ass,
never
bitch.
thought I would. I never thought I would be outclassed with that.
Shake your ass.
in specific.
I'm not sure what that means. And then you hear, very well. Both contenders are ready. They have stated as such. They have picked their stones.
Bo
As
like
that is
popping
being
his neck
said-
and popping his back and like jumping around a little bit.
You watch as you're doing that, everyone's just like staring at you like, what the fuck is this guy? As Varus is standing very stiffly waiting for the announcement to happen. But sorry, please bring out the boats. And as the announcer says that, one very small house finch, Eric Cochran, he gestures, and you watch as 4 Eric Cochrans, two on either side of each boat, lift them up into the air and push them out. These are like wooden, shitty fucking boats that have been used for centuries, and each have one long strip of blue stone underneath them that allows them to float in the sky. Are you talking to me, buddy? Are you gonna ask me a question?
Oh,
No.
Okay. So, the boat, me ready boat.
You
Cowboy
re-
ready.
Speak English.
No. The bow is just still getting like pumped up. He's trying to pump
Okay.
himself up.
Gotcha. Very well. Let the first challenge, Earth, commence. And you watch as Varus takes his bag and very quickly walks over to the boat, throws it in, hops in, and begins to drift off, using his wings to propel him through the air.
Okay, Bo with his bag and his stone, right? He has a stone with his
Varus has his stone too.
yeah, his 80-pound stone.
Yeah, your stone is like 87 pounds, probably.
This is like the
83.
heaviest. This is the heaviest toddler Bo has ever lifted up.
Yeah,
He's like cradling it too. So I'm gonna say he like first takes his bag, bites like a strap to keep it in his mouth,
hmm
and he just starts running and jumps into his boat and is trying to use the momentum of him jumping into the boat to propel him forward.
Roll a dexterity saving throw to see if you capsize the boat and fall out of the sky.
Well,
You're tipping a shit, man.
I'm 200 pounds too, so that doesn't help.
It's a little boat.
Okay, sorry, that fell off the desk. Fuck me. Alright. Dexterity saving throw. 21.
21. You manage to throw the bag and the stone almost equally, just enough to not capsize the ship, but it does start to rock as it rockets forward. As you take off running with the stone, you do hear the crowd begin to go, as they've never seen like a feat of strength this amazing before. At that point, we're going to back up a little bit. Daenerys and Magnus. You are currently in Daenerys' chamber. It has been well readied. Your sleeping
It's a
hole
perch. It's a perch.
perch in the corner has been cleaned and ready for you.
Her sister room, strip a pole in the middle. Magnus walks in and is just like,
The large open airways looking out across House Dorathian's land beckon to you, and even seeing like the large forested areas of the Mid Islands and lower the Grand Nest, those places, you are finally home.
Daenerys takes off her satchel and lets out a deep sigh. Well, this is where I grew up, Magnus.
"That's beautiful, Ten."
The moment I was a child. There's lots to see, lots to explore, and when the time comes. I assume that Bo has already disrespected my brother, and
Oh. I'm very sure that his presence alone.
he's lucky he's in a competition with my brother, because otherwise he'd probably be killed.
What is this? Why?
Well, my
I don't-
brother's the type of person that lives by his honor, and if you disrespect his honor, then, you know, you've been around royals enough.
Oh yeah. A bull will do that. So this challenge thing. How long do they normally last?
Do I know the answer?
They can last up to half a month to a month to the longest one ever ran for about half a year, because one of the contestants died in the middle of it and nobody knew.
Well, the challenge, my premise is quite simple, right? So
And one of the contestants died in the middle of it. The challenge is very simple.
Also said we have 3 days.
I'm speaking.
You're not alive.
You're not in this episode. But by premise,
Dude,
this
me
challenge is
too.
simple. Correct?
Fuck you.
So you're supposed to transport elements to the Great Tree. And then Daenerys turns and points in the direction of the Great Tree.
The Great Tree is a single, like large toothpick in the horizon. It was a lot closer when you were at the foot of House Arathia. But
That island, there. And so,
Okay.
from my knowledge, I haven't witnessed many challenges in my time, but the ones I have witnessed have lasted from, I don't know, like half a month to half a year.
I love other cultures. They're great. I love other cultures. I love when we throw humans into other cultures and they make other people mad. So just, hypothetically.
Mhm.
Time frame type stuff.
Sure.
Also, I was gonna wage war. This is gonna suck. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I can't get past what you said about being able to bring back Rue.
Of course.
Is there a way to speed that up? Get in contact with Varus? Talk with him? Or
So-
do we have to wait for the thing to be over?
roll history check, guys.
That's a 24.
24. Resurrection of any kind is a very sacred, ancient, and incredibly arduous process. It's never easy. In order to convene and get a true resurrection, you have to gather the leaders of all 5 houses, get them to agree that the person is willing, not only willing to be resurrected, but worthwhile to resurrect. And then there is a quest given. For the life of you, even with a 25, you cannot remember this ever actually happening. In any storybook, in any history book, or in any fairy tale you've been told. You just know it exists because the founders of House Baratheon were the ones that created the technique.
Magnus. This ritual that I speak of, I'm confident it can bring Rue back. I'm also not familiar with the practice itself. What I do know is that we have to gather the leaders of all of the major houses of Arathia, and they have to make a major decision on whether Rue's soul will be willing to return to the mortal world. So what I need you to do is create and say, either to me and the council, how incredibly important Alhart Ruesh is to the world around us. Her influence was very deep, especially in Spectre Isle. Findings we had there are remarkable, and people from this area do not know of that time.
Will they even?
We have to be very careful with our words.
Obviously, because of the whole Othle on the Exne thing.
And you, Magnus, have to forget about your bias. I know you love her. You have to make sure that what you say is unbiased and true. That will give us the greatest opportunity to bring her back.
Okay. Will they even care about what we found on Spectre Island? Nobody else remembers it. How are we supposed to know that an ancient Aarakocran civilization or something?
Upon current standings, we don't have concrete evidence on the Floating Isles. However, if I were to report these findings, seriously report these findings in a report, then they would send investigators to the Isles.
And they
However,
really do.
the Spectre Isle is kind of anti-Aarakocran. This process could take a very long time, Magnus.
We don't have time. A world as we know it on the mainland, my world as I knew it on the mainland, is probably, possibly, about to crumble beneath our feet, literally. And we don't have time.
I know. Well, freshen up. We'll make haste. We'll meet with my aunt girl. Talk to the other houses. There is areas to clean up down the hallway.
Okay. How did you know?
What's that?
How did you know? My feelings with Rue.
I've seen two people. I've seen the way you look at each other. The way you make eye contact. It's no secret to me. It's only natural in courting practices. However, they're usually not as intense, yeah. Saw it in my mother and father when they were still around. My father looked at my mother like like you look at Rue.
Magnus isn't going to say a word. He's going to turn and he's going to go find a washroom.
There are no washrooms.
What the fuck? How do I freshen up? What the fuck? He's gonna come back at like 15 minutes later. Tenors, there is a shallow bowl in the ground. What
Oh,
is
that's
this?
right. Humans don't know how to use those.
I don't know how to use the shells.
Do I roll in it? Do I, like...
I mean, Daenerys like looks you up and down. Yeah, you could like roll around, I suppose.
Magnus,
Yes.
you're not that dirty.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
If you don't feel the need to, that's totally fine.
are there, like, mirrors around? No, there are no mirrors.
There
Great!
are no mirrors here.
Fantastic.
Orcans don't use mirrors.
Birds can't see glass.
Intermission, can you imagine if Spectre was surrounded by a glass dome?
Oh my god, that would be so funny.
Anyway,
It's like the sound of a bird hitting your window.
very well. Well, if you don't feel the need to get ready, we will head to the festival. And we will take seats by my Aunt Gail. My Aunt Gail is not as strict as my brother, but still a royalty.
Yay, yippee. Magnus, I'm gonna try to do my best to... Cole just had an epiphany. Cole's having a epiphany. There's a epiphany being had. I'm gonna try to spruce up as best as I can, as best of my ability. Probably use like... I don't know. Lather up some soap, I guess.
Is,
Washing my hands in a bird bath. Magnus crouched
my-
in a bird bath, just like a squirrel.
Like a
Is
fly.
my, is my guard still there?
Your guards are always present. Always outside the room.
Could one of you familiarize Magnus with the proper proceedings of how to address the houses?
Yes, very well. You watch as this older, crow Aarakocra steps forward, or, no, they'd be a mix. They'd be a mix, Aarakocra. Steps forward. Tell me, do you have any practice with royalty?
I do, but I'm a bit rusty at the moment.
That is all right. Can you give me your best bow?
You motherfucker. I don't wanna. Don't wanna.
Give me a history check.
Of how
At
to-
disadvantage.
Of how to bow?
Yeah.
I don't
Magnus does a woman bow to.
know. Magnus knows how to bow. He's just a dick about. That's cocked. Can you fuck off?
I'll say at disadvantage, because the last time you saw a male Aarakocra bow was Electi, and that was like 8 years ago.
Ha! A history check?
Yeah.
Fucking. Oh, okay. I can't tell which one it is. Okay, it's a 9.
Yeah, you don't
Plus-
fucking remember. dude.
Plus 13.
No, you don't remember.
Fuck! Magnus is just reluctantly going to give, I guess, the best bow he can, just as himself.
Oh, so you are a female of your species.
No.
Very well.
What? Mm-mm.
You hear Daenerys laughing in the background.
Ton?
Oh, well, you performed a female bow.
Okay. How would I perform a male bow?
I don't see why you would need that if you're a female of your species.
I'm gonna stare
He's
at
a
him.
male.
I'm gonna stare at him.
Says from the background.
Stare at him
He's a
gleefully.
male. I've been told that,
Like a lady.
and
I'm a pretty man.
you watch as his eyes kind of study you for a second. He says, "Tell me,
Magnus is
Are
going
you-
to pull back his hair and put it
are you
up.
a genasi?"
Can I have an insight check of what
Yeah,
the
roll an insight check.
fuck- what the fuck he's trying to inquire? I'm so fucking scared right now. That's going to be cocked if I roll in that. That's not a d20. Ooh. Ooh. Insight. 24.
He is incredibly curious.
Just genuine curiosity.
Yeah, genuine curiosity.
Okay. I am.
And you watch as his beak kind of falls open. He says, "Really, I've never seen one other than the air genasi before. Tell me, what element are you from?"
Turning and looking at Daenerys.
He's a fire genasi.
That's fire genasi. That's fascinating. Where do you come from? How were you made? What do you live like? What do you eat? You have to tell me everything.
10.
We shall have a spectacle where Magnus tells us things.
I don't want to
That was at the time.
You're right, of course, my lady. I'm sorry. It's incredibly exciting to find someone born
Yes.
of the elements.
We shall have him meet with the Charles at some point.
Very well, very well. The bow. All you must do is flap your oh, no tail feathers coat.
Can I pull out the article of clothing that I stole from Silas that I sent you like a long time ago? I sent you a jacket. I sent you a jacket.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me see. Hang on. Do you remember your Pinterest login, Cole? This is not a.
No, I do not.
I'll.
You sent it to me on Pinterest, Alice?
Yes, cause I'm a loser.
I'm never going to see that. I've told you that.
Hang on, I'm looking. I'm going.
Also, please roll me a d20 to see if you can find the jacket in your stack of shit.
Oh my god, why do I keep putting it back?
I've also seen other genasi, she says to her guards.
Really? Like what?
Well, which genasis have I seen? I've seen all of them, haven't I?
You have not seen a water genasi.
I have seen an earth genasi at one point.
You've seen two.
Actually, two.
Wow. What are they like?
They're like townsfolk of the place they reside. They run a bar? A tavern.
They're not royalty.
No, not quite.
One
The
of them
Empire is kind of-
was the advisor to the king that you guys threw in prison, and he got stabbed to death and killed.
We didn't throw him in prison.
Yeah, you did. You were like, we suspect you, and the king was like, all right, throw him in prison.
Oh, that's right, and he got killed.
Yeah, he got killed.
There was one on the king's seat, but can't really recall what happened to him.
Roll a deception check.
Oh.
Oh.
That's a 7.
He doesn't say anything. Wow, that's startling news. Tell me, Magnus, are you royalty?
Tenerius makes eye
Daenerys!
contact with Magnus.
Magnus is gonna make prolonged eye contact with Daenerys.
I can tell it's a touchy subject. I won't inquire further.
Well, the royal houses won't be as kind, will they? And turning to her guard.
No, they would most likely press you until you give an answer. I know your brother would.
Correct. We don't really have.
Done to me, Daenerys.
What did you say?
What have you done to me, Daenerys? What situation have you put me in?
Bags.
My gods. If I wish them to, they will say nothing to my brother. They're sworn to me. Well, if you do not feel like telling the truth, you better tell a very damn well good lie.
As you curse Varys, you watch as the older guard goes,
Oh,
Apologies. Too much time on the mainland.
Language.
You know, it's interesting. And she turns to the older guard. Do you know who I found on the mainland?
He shakes his head.
I found my mother.
He freezes. He was expecting an answer, and he simply freezes. You found the queen.
The queen.
And where is she now? Is she not with you?
From the sounds of it, she assisted in our human arriving in the Floating Isles. When we came face to face with the great enemy, I lost my life. And I presume that my mother did something quite rash, but who knows? And she looks at Magnus like.
This is a you and me conversation for later.
If he kind of takes a step back. Daenerys. The houses came to a decision while you were away. Varys is to be crowned king of House Baratheon.
I assume so.
This news will devastate him.
Is it?
What did you say?
I presume.
You've already told him, also.
However, I have told him. But I don't think that mother wants to return.
I think it best for us not to speak of this further.
Yes.
Magnus, just hold your manners around the other houses. And you watch as his head is spinning, and he walks out. And he says, Your lady, I must excuse myself.
Very well. I had something to tell him. I'm sorry. I literally just lost it.
Okay.
And thank you for getting my chambers ready.
Yes, of course.
Well, come on, Magnus. Let's make our way to the festival then.
He's a big boy.
He's a big boy. Alright, at that, as you two arrive, you watch as Bo throws himself into a boat, nearly capsizing him, and poof, casts off. That being said,
So do we
What
bet on
happens-
this, or
what happens if I press this button?
So I assume that we're like with Aunt Gail now.
You've not spotted Aunt Gail. She is not sitting here.
Daenerys is gonna look around at like the event guards.
Oh, there's a couple, yeah, for a mix of different houses.
Which one is the closest?
Which house?
Yeah.
Probably. Actually, all of the guards would be Cha'al. Not a mix. They would all be Air Genasi.
Daenerys is gonna approach one of the Air Genasi and
Yes.
do a little curtsy.
Agnes, do you have a question?
I have a question. I have a very important question. This is my first time seeing an Air Genasi.
No, you saw whatever her name was at the Earth and Wind.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. My bad. Continue, please.
You okay?
Well, it's great to be back. Can you help me find my family?
Yes, of course, your lady. Gail Dorathian, her ladyship should be, and he looks up and he points at a boat in the sky. If I might ask, I do sense some elemental connection with the, your, and he kind of looks at you, Magnus, he says, accomplice.
This and she like presents Magnus, like kind of nodding to him just to a bow.
I don't wanna.
This is one of my companions on my adventures. He's a fire genasi.
So as you say that, you watch as the Air Genasi does their own bow. It's a very like they're showing off elemental power as they kind of dust wind through their hands and hair, and a breeze hits you as they give a very like this much.
Is there something that Fire Genasi do in the same ish way, like at home? Or like, is there a certain way that Fire Genasi would bow?
That's a really good question. We're gonna take a 5-minute break.
Throw it back. Throw it back to Frank Sinatra while I vomit. No.
That is probably one of the most iconic things you've ever said.
I'm gonna throw it back to Frank Sinatra?
While I vomit, yeah.
Vomit, vomit, vomit,
Ah, you're
vomit,
such a
vomit,
bitch.
vomit,
Vomit, vomit, vomit, vomit, vomit, vomit, vomit.
No. Vomit, 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 vomit.
Oh my god.
Fly me
I heard
to
vomit from my
ass.
headphones. I'm getting like 3 vomits. This sucks.
Make me taste my other ass.
Is it a good macaron?
How much time do we have left on our break?
I don't know, ask Cole.
Cole, how much time left?
Will somebody wash rice?
No minutes. 0 minutes. It's time.
Get back.
Yeah,
You know how to wash rice?
you just fill it with water and wash until it's not cloudy anymore. You just
Oh, oops.
And then do you know how to
That's
stir it?
fine.
no.
You put your fingertip on the top of the rice. You fill it to this digit with water. And for that thing, you
Cole,
put
how's your
red
pizza?
rice and then white rice.
Okay, I'm gonna need
It'll
your help.
be bigger.
I'll need your help.
Aaron, how are you enjoying Bo and the floating isle so far?
Aaron,
Oh.
why is there a thong on your door?
That's a plague doctor mask.
It's a
That's
thong.
a thong.
That's Erin's thong. For her mash of wee wee.
Is that where you kissed a girl in? Ew.
Ew. Ew. I put my flag on my window. Hee hee.
Anyway, back to reality. D&D. This fucking lunatic.
It's fucking
Um,
weirdo.
Where were we? Oh yeah. Magnus. There is a very similar practice among fire genasi. You never really understood why or where it came from, but seeing the air genasi before you do this, like very eloquent kind of thing,
Things are clicking in Magnus's little brain.
you're like, oh shit, this makes sense because only the really old people in the Ashmore Valley would ever do anything like this. Like the newer generations, like your father, your mother, never did anything like this. But like,
kids nowadays.
yeah, like your grandparents and your great grandparents, when you still knew them, very much so did this.
Okay.
And it's a very, you bow. Actually, you describe it.
So Magnus is going to bow, and as he does, he's going to let off the conscious dampener that he has, and the stones beneath him are going to heat up, and he's going to blow out a flame that like bellows across, not bellows across the ground, but like around the ground around him.
Okay.
Fuck you, nerd. The beeper's gonna go off.
Bellows out a flame. The beeper's going off. The beeper's going off.
The beeper's going off.
It's the smoke. The smoke alarm.
It- It's just like a very nice, illustrious bow, like he's once seen his grandfather do.
Okay. Daenerys, this is the first time you've ever seen this happening, and the Air Genasi looks like really surprised, but like very impressed.
Daenerys is just like beak open, like.
That's so hot. Oh my god.
Literally. Don't touch me right now, I'm sizzling. You will burn yourself.
Don't touch me right now. I am actually on fire.
Do not touch me, you will burn yourself.
I am burning.
At that, he says, I will inform the keepers of House Shaal that we have a very highly esteemed guest within our chambers.
Fuck. Shit. Shit. We fucked up.
But until then, you two may enjoy the company and the festivities
I'm
That's a cup. Do
assuming that like the Sha'al have ways of getting around without flying, right?
They shoot wind and just float. Like they literally just float on air.
That's fair.
How far away
How
is
could-
is the ship from the ground that we're
That's a
How
good
far?
question. It's probably a good 100 feet.
Okay, cool.
Good 10 stories.
Very cool.
Well, to my knowledge, Magnus doesn't have a way to fly. So that we could
Of course,
get,
my
get him
mistake.
up there.
Let me grab you a boat. Sorry, never met another Genasi before. At least another other Genasi.
10, where are we going?
Going to my family. We're going to meet up with my aunt.
Okay, that bow. You're in a boat, buddy, and you're
No, no,
moving
no.
fucking fast.
No,
Not
no.
as fast as Varus, who is using his wings to propel him as he wears his backpack in the boat.
Okay.
What would you like to do, Palomino?
Okay. Does this little boat have a mast at all, or is this literally
Yeah.
just like a little rowboat?
It's a little rowboat, but like a sail? No, it has no sail.
It has no sail? Okay.
It has 2 oars.
I am going to take off my... No, I don't have that. I don't have my bag,
Mm.
and I can't cast any magic. I don't have... Oh, I don't have any of my shit.
You got a bag of stuff to make an arm with, or other
I-
things, should you choose.
Fuck. Okay, I'm going to... as like I'm trying to think of ways to speed myself up, I'm going to just make the goal of making another arm my priority until like I get to like a decent challenge. So I guess I'm just gonna start tinkering and try and make myself an arm.
Okay, roll 2 d20s for me, and then roll a d4.
Okay. Fuck. Okay, it's time. It's too dark, I can't fucking see. D4, little pyramid boy. Okay. I have both my D20 rolls and my D4 roll.
Alright, what's the first 2 d20 rolls?
17 and 9.
17 and 9. So, you discovered that the elements, or the not the elements, but the items they gave you to construct are very sturdy and strong. The wood here is incredibly light, but it's 2 or 3 times stronger than any wood you felt back on the ground. The stone and metal they have given you is just about the same thing. And with a 9, which beats a 5, which is what I had in my head for this, you know for a fact you don't have to use the scroll to enchant this because you're an artificer, so you can save that scroll of like life enchantment for later in the challenge.
That's what Daddy likes to hear. Okay.
Shut your fucking mouth. That's what Daddy likes to hear.
That's what Daddy likes to see. Okay, and then do you need the D4 roll?
Yeah, what's the D4 roll?
2.
2 hours it takes you to construct the first part of the arm. As that's being said, Varus has disappeared over the white sea of clouds, rocketing himself. That looks so much like Cade. Rocketing himself over over the horizon towards the great tree. All right, that will conclude the first round of it all. Give me another D4 roll.
2 again.
2 again. Takes you another 2 hours to construct the next part of the arm. While you're doing that, is there anything you would like to try to do to catch up to Varus along the way?
So, I'm sorry, Cole. Am I like... Do I have, like, up to my forearm or, like, up to my elbow at this point? Or...
Yeah, let's say... I wouldn't say elbow, I'd say, like, halfway to the forearm.
Halfway to the forearm?
Because you got
Okay.
your arm, like, chopped off, like, right there.
Oh, I thought it was just, like, the
Right
whole thing.
there.
Okay.
No, it's not your full
Shit. Okay, Oh my god, this sucks not having access to any of my spells, because I wanted a sentimental moment. He's just gonna kind of test... We're not in water, we're in air. He's gonna test the sky, I guess, and start rowing at least with one oar and kind of trying to do the same with his foot, so he's like trying to push the oar and the...
The oar expertly catches the wind. It's more of like a sail than anything. But now you're starting to turn because you're only rowing on one side.
I said he was trying to also row with his foot. Am I not allowed to do that?
Does your foot have a sail attached to it?
No. Actually, I have an idea. Okay, so if that's essentially a sail, would I be able to take the oar, stick it into the boat, and essentially make a makeshift mast and sail if I used like my poncho? If I use my poncho as the sail.
They would have given you some rope in your bag.
5-minute break.
No. Let's try it. Roll a d20 for me. Add your intelligence modifier.
God, please, I'm trying to be resourceful here. Okay, intelligence modifier.
resourceful bow.
What?
I like resourceful bow.
Me
It's a
too.
lot better than magical bow, in my opinion.
Okay, so 30-20.
I'm masturbating. Sorry, it's just because the camera is shaking.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. Dirty 20. Yeah, we'll say you could strap it and make it there for sure. It's not going to be faster than Varus's wings, but it definitely catches the air.
So he's like trying to tie like a knot with the rope, tying the oar to like the middle of the boat, and he's gonna take the other one out and kind of like try and, I guess, like keep it like in the back and kind of use it like to steer the ship. Please stop. Cole, please.
Give it to Danny.
I'm not enjoying this anymore.
Okay, for sure. Yeah. It definitely catches the wind. Like a sloop, you begin to accelerate much faster. And yeah, during that time, we'll say that you can't work on the arm any longer until you want to give that up and take a break.
After like an hour or two, I will go back to reconstructing the arm.
Okay, gotcha. Roll another d4 for me.
Titties. 1.
Takes you another hour to finish the arm. Roll a d4 for me to see how long it takes you to enchant it.
Yeah, boobas. 2.
Another 2 hours to enchant it. But in 7 hours, you have a new arm that is incredibly light, but very, very sturdy. You are now a bionic man.
feel the power. Okay, let's get this shit on the road, shall we? And, okay, what else do I have in my bag?
You've got a stone, or, well, no, the stone's not in the bag. You've got a scroll of enchantment. Other than the stuff that they gave you to make the new arm, you have a spare bit of rope left, and what would they have given you? They probably would have given you, like, a book on edible plants.
Okay, am I... Okay, so... For some reason, my mind is kind of going towards Void Train. Are there, like, tiny little islands around me?
No, this is a plain white sea.
It's just plain nothing. Okay. Hmm.
In fact, without looking, without being able to see the tree in the distance, you wouldn't know if you were going the right way. It's like that large and vast.
It's that big. God damn. Okay. Do I still have my belt of the Wrangler on me?
Yes, they wouldn't have taken that.
Okay.
Take a man's belt. That's fucked
Yeah.
up.
It is fucked up. He's just, for now, he's going to continue, like, trying to steer the boat and make it go, like, faster if he can. Because now he only has one oar because he's using his poncho as a fucking sail.
Okay. Let's say you make it, and Varus is currently 3 hours ahead of you.
Oh. Okay.
So you land eventually, taking about half a day sailing. You land on the stoop, the first island. This island is between you and the other largest island here. It's like the resting spot. This is, you can see like Varus's boat has been drug up onto like the land, and he is currently making camp off to the side of the beach. The sun hangs low in the sky. It's not quite nighttime yet. And he is simply waiting, basically. He is making camp for the night to take a rest and to recover before he starts sailing again the next day. So that loss of time that you had probably won't amount to much, unless he gets ahead of you tomorrow.
Okay. If I don't rest...
If you look at the map, you're here.
Sorry, could you ping that one more time for me? Okay.
You're right there.
On that little island. Okay. If I don't rest, am I going to take a point of exhaustion? Because I'm not necessarily doing anything.
Yeah,
like...
you have trekked through fights and moving, and you've stayed up for days getting back to the castle for Oslo. This is fucking nothing to you. But Varus looks exhausted.
Okay, well in that case, I'm going to open up the book, look for the most edible looking plant around me. I'm going to grab a couple and just fucking go.
Okay, gotcha. As you begin to set off again, Varus gives you like a holy shit. Like, this guy's fucking crazy. And about an hour into the journey, you feel pretty good about that. You're like, yeah, I am the man, until you begin to realize why he was giving you that look. Please roll a perception check for me.
Oh, my moment of triumph. My hubris. I finally have a right hand again, and this is what you do to me?
Yeah, it can't even be, like, nice, because we have to make it fast.
Perception? 13.
13.
Unless this has to do with Faith being undead.
It does not.
Okay.
Bo, give me a sense that you would like to have first. Like a touch, taste, smell, sound, sight.
Side.
You see a fin pop up out of the white sea below you. And it is huge. As its spines come and rise out of the water, you watch as it kind of dips below the clouds again, and you see another one pop up. You can tell they are following you, the wake of your ship in the clouds.
I'm going to do my best to bob and weave and hope I do not die.
I know what this episode is gonna
As you begin to try and think what to do, the smell hits you. It smells like a rotting fish carcass that has been left in the Salili sun for 4 days. It's pungent and strong, and it's acrid. It is awful.
He pukes off the side of the boat again.
And then the sound. The sound starts as a quiet murmur, a very little... And as it grows, the two begin to slowly on either side get closer and closer to your ship, you begin to hear the murmur grow, almost like screeches of like... The air grows cold around you as they approach, almost like the wind itself is picking up under them. You still only see the spines of their fins. Roll a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
$18.
18. I love this game so much.
No, wait, no,
I love
please.
this game so much.
No.
As ahead, the size of the boat you are currently in rises out of the water, you see sharp, piercing teeth filled with rotting carcasses of animals, dripping with saliva and what look to be almost like, not venom, but this is like the mouth of a Komodo dragon, right? Like, that's how fucking gross it is. Its head is scaly, but it's also covered in feathers, and it looks to be fish-like. It doesn't have gills, but it has one large fin and a long neck, and it kind of, as it begins to go to snap at you, an 18 is perfect, because you manage to dive out of the way just in time as the griffin's talons come down and grab it by the neck and force it out of the water. Tearing into its head, the griffin tears a chunk of meat out of it, and the creature begins to flail as it tears another chunk out of it, and it takes it into the sky, disappearing behind another layer of clouds. The second one immediately diverts into the water.
Okay, cool. Love that.
Just so you know, I rolled an 18 for the griffin. If you rolled any lower, you would have been grabbed too. That's why I was like, I love this game, dude. Like, what are the fucking chances?
I'm so lucky that I rolled a 10 and my dex saving is an 8. Okay.
Yeah. Other than that, though, it's a quiet night. And you land on the shore of the Grand Nest. It is like a jungle ahead of you. And remembering the map of, or not, they wouldn't have even given you a map. Seeing where the Grand Tree, or the Great Tree is, You know you could probably sail up around the coast to get closer without heading through the jungle, but it would cost you another about half a day, and you're not sure if Varus would be willing to go through the jungle or not.
Would I be able to go over the jungle? Is that possible?
Can you fly?
Well, I didn't know if I would be able to, like, turn the horse sideways so that way it's flat and use it kind of like a plane wing so it goes up.
So the boat is set to levitate at your exact altitude.
Okay, so I can't do, like, fancy aerodynamic shit with that.
No.
Cole, are there rocks in the jungle?
Yeah?
Okay, I want to at least get onto the shore of the jungle, drag my boat up to, like, at least a decent place to where I can either jump in and go around if I see Varus going around, or, like, go through the jungle, essentially. But what I'm gonna do is, how strong is my hand?
I don't know. You'll have to test it.
Okay. Because what I'm wanting to do is find, like, a sharp rock. If I can, like a chunk of obsidian, if that's even possible for me right now.
That would not be here.
No?
There would
Okay.
be no obsidian here.
I would want to find the sharpest rock that I can find, and I'm wanting to get, like, some vines, just some more wood. I doubt there's bamboo here. Is there bamboo?
No, but most of the wood is incredibly similar to bamboo. These trees, while they look to be massive and hard, they're all entirely hollow.
They're all hollow?
They are all hollow. And investigating a tree, each one is filled with a variety of bugs and creatures. And even looking around you, most of the land creatures have some form of primitive wings.
Do any of these bugs look edible?
I don't know, do they?
Do any of them look like the ones that were served to me in prison?
Roll a nature check.
Nature? Okay. 17?
There's a few. Yeah, there's a few that look like they were the ones that you ate.
I am going to risk it, and I am going to grab a couple of those fuckers and shove them in my bag.
You kill them first, at least?
Yes, I kill them.
Oh, thank God.
Because I don't want them getting into the edible plants that I have.
Okay, you managed to catch a couple bugs and put them in your bag. You find a pretty sharp rock.
I'm just gonna start cutting and getting, like, resources, essentially.
Okay.
And whenever I get enough, I'm gonna try and sail through the jungle, if I can.
The river here is incredibly thin, so you can sail, but it would probably be faster to leave the boat and move on foot.
Really?
Yes.
Will I be able to... Okay, am I going to need the boat in the future still?
You don't know.
I don't know.
They
Okay.
didn't tell you. Why would they tell you that? Your path is yours to choose, Bo, not ours. That's what they would say.
I'm gonna take the boat with me. I'm gonna have it on my shoulders.
The boat is pretty light. It's still not light enough to carry like that, though. It is covered in stone.
Okay, that's right. It's the levitating thing. And I would fuck. Okay, after getting enough materials to where I'm satisfied, and if I can, I don't know, have, like, at least a makeshift dagger with a sharp rock.
Roll 3d4 for me.
3d4? Okay.
You will be working through the night.
Okay. 3, 2, 4.
It takes you 8 hours to collect everything you're satisfied with.
Okay, and then I'm just gonna go around because I don't know if I'm gonna need the boat.
So you're sailing around the island?
I'm gonna sail around the island because I don't know if I'm gonna need the boat.
Gotcha. Are you gonna sail up the coastline or just? So you're right now. You're like right about here, but you wouldn't know the topography of the island.
Could you ping one more time? I'm so sorry.
You're like right about there.
Oh no. Okay.
You know you have to go like. You know your destination is from here to there.
Mm. Okay, then I'm just gonna risk it and not knowing what's ahead. I'm gonna leave my boat behind then. I
You just
changed my
walk?
mind. Yeah, I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna take my poncho with me and maybe an oar if I can.
Okay, this is like the Oregon Trail. Are you sure you want to do that? This will decide how the challenge goes.
Take the oar or leave the boat.
Leave the boat and walk through the jungle or sail. This is your choice. And I'm making sure you know you're committing to this choice.
Oh fuck. Okay, yeah, I'll leave the boat behind.
Okay, gotcha. Roll 3 nature checks for me, and then roll 3d4. As I say that, we're gonna take a 5-minute break because I have to poop so badly right now, dude. Fish. Fish.
I love how the clouds have like fish in them.
Yeah.
That's fucking sick, dude.
Alice! Are we playing
Alice!
D&D? Why are you cooking? You've been cooking for like 2 hours.
Gonna be yummy food.
Because I'm hungry.
I'm so fucking sweaty right now.
It's really fucking hot in our apartment.
Anyway, Cade, what'd you roll? Big boy? Big sex? Big sexy big man?
Big sex.
Hey, big sex.
Okay, for the 3 d20s, I rolled a 13, a 3, and a 1.
Okay, let's see how much damage you take. Give me 2 strength saving throws. As you are hunted by a lion with wings in the jungle.
In the floating jungle.
Maybe I should only do 2, because that will kill you. Very well, very well.
21 and 7.
21 and a 7. You take reduced to half. You take 23 points of piercing and slashing damage as you make your way through the jungle during the night. You are stalked and attacked by a lion as it grabs and latches
21?
onto you. 23.
23.
You manage to throw it off and not kill it, but scare it off. As it disappears into the jungle, you do watch as its little wings kind of flap through the air. More like gliding than anything. But with that, you don't eat any poison, and you do manage to make it through the jungle the next day. Please take a point of exhaustion. You've been awake for 36 hours.
Okay. What does a point of exhaustion do?
You gain disadvantage on all ability checks.
Okay.
But as you make it to the step of the house Cha'al, right about here, in this general area, right about here,
Mm-hmm.
you finally see the great tree. And it is fucking huge. This thing is massive. It is probably the single largest. It's like looking at a mountain if it were a tree. It is incredibly wide. You see that it has like actual infrastructure built into it. Like it has like meeting halls and buildings and windows and airways, and at the base there seems to be a massive library built into it and around it. This thing is absolutely huge. It's not like quite the size of a mountain, but it's definitely something most people would only ever dream of.
Okay. How many points of exhaustion would it be if I just continued going?
I don't know. We'll have to
Hmm.
see. Let's see. So you're here.
If I can, I want to find just a decent rest spot.
It's only about 27 miles from you. So walking, you could probably make it there in a day or so.
Yeah, I'll walk. Yeah, screw my needs. I'll walk.
Because you started off like here. Yeah, that's about right. 100 miles.
Yeah.
130 miles.
I'll walk then.
All right. As you're nomming on bugs along the way, or do you eat the bugs or do you eat the plants?
Plant bug.
Gotcha. Roll a d20 for me.
Just one.
Just one.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. You managed to miraculously avoid all the poisonous bugs because you get a little tingling feeling in your balls every time you pick one up, and you're like, ah, it doesn't look right.
That has a red hourglass on its back. I probably shouldn't.
Yeah, stuff like that. Over the next day, as you walk, you see the sights of the House Cha'al. There's a small town in the distance, off to your right as you trek through. This part isn't really covered in trees. It's more covered in massive rootways from the tree in front of you. These rootways are home to like animals of all kinds. Like these roots create shade and a different ecosystem, one that you never would have seen. It's like, think of like a Great Barrier Reef, but above the water, right? This is like prey animals live all throughout here because of the protection the tree gives them.
Okay. I'm just gonna try and do my best to go over the roots and leave the animals alone.
All right, very well. Making your way along the roots isn't easy, but you do manage to collect enough water and plant more plants and bugs along the way. As you approach the tree, you see that on the other side of it, like up here-ish, there is a full town, just like within walking distance. But you're on the unpopulated side, and you do see a large pile of stones, along with the announcer that originally started, sitting there waiting. As you approach, he says, "Ah, very well. The challenge will end."
And he is just gonna like, do you put the rock on top of this pile of stones?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just gonna. Oh god. Do I see Varus around me?
Roll a perception check.
Oh god, he got there before me, didn't he? Perception 19.
You don't see him, and it takes another 3 hours for him to appear with his stone as he
He like tips his hat. Respectfully, he tips his hat.
he takes the stone and puts it on the pile. And the announcer says, "The challenge has been concluded. Bo with the heavier stone, Bo Iron Belt, not only arrived first, but hours ahead of Prince Varus Dorathian. Bo Iron Belt, as judged by me and the council, will take the victory for the challenge of Earth."
Okay.
Got that. Daenerys and Magnus. Take your time, I'm eating candy. A boat is given to you, and y'all go up, and Magnus, you meet Gale Dorathian, who is the spitting image of Daenerys' mother to you. To Daenerys, she looks incredibly different.
Daenerys is going to do her little curtsy and then run up.
As soon as you do, Gale does one back very quickly and grabs you and pulls you into the deepest hug you've felt in a very, very long time.
And Daenerys will hug back as well.
Daenerys! Daenerys, it's so good to have you back.
Let's go.
Oh, well... everything! Tell me everything now!
There's so much to cover. And she like holds Gale's face. I'm so glad to be home.
I'm so glad you're home. We've missed you dearly.
Oh. How have things been? I've heard. I have not heard much as far as updates go.
Oh, well, the investigation on the...
Gargoyles?
Gargoyle! Thank you! I couldn't remember the name. The investigation on the gargoyle, we still haven't gotten anywhere. It's very hard to tell where that came from. But secondly, Varys was declared to be the remaining heir to the throne, and considering how, Aether hasn't returned or said anything in around 10 years now, I think it's time. Oh, and Kukrik discovered a new form of combat hailing from, I don't remember what the continent is called. Miful? Something like that. Very interesting. It's where several rows of men line up, and they throw things at each other, and those things then hit each other.
Like a war formation.
Yes, like a wall formation, except we're still not sure if it's for a game or not.
Would Magnus
The-
know what the hell she's talking about?
No, he wouldn't. The Arathians are currently investigating it as, well, since you left, they decided to start sending more delegations out.
May I ask where the delegations have been sent?
There have been a few. Let's see. Let me remember really quick. There's one that was sent to Miful, and one that was sent to a place called Yakish, which is south of where you went. There are several other continents we've yet to receive contact back from. We're not entirely sure if any intelligent species live on those yet.
There's quite an expansive array of intelligent creatures on the Empire. There are many lands, many curious things. We even came across an island surrounded by a curse.
Wow, fascinating.
And Daenerys, like, racks her brain on how to tell Gale this without making it dramatic. Do you remember... do you know the name Fusion?
It doesn't ring any bells.
Just thumping in.
Oh, no, she wouldn't say that.
It doesn't draft any wins.
Yeah, she's gonna say, it doesn't pluck a feather, no.
Well, apparently, and I'm not sure if my mail ever made its way to you, apparently, the island was once occupied by creatures similar to us. And there was a great spell, a grand spell, conducted. I have much research to report, and I've documented most of it. Some of it is very dangerous, and I don't think that we should use some of it, but it is research regardless.
You watch as she kind of like looks at you very seriously. She says, Daenerys, that's fantastic news. Does that mean your dissertation is done? Are you coming? Are you staying home? That's amazing. A new kind of Arathian?
Indeed, but there are no more.
I mean, I know we split away from that land eons ago during the Great War, but I had no idea.
No one does, because the grand spell was a memory spell.
What do you mean?
It's hard to explain, but I feel I'm not the right person to describe it, but I am the only one that can describe it. There are aspects of spell circles, correct?
Yes.
It was a massive spell circle, like the size of our grand halls, and it had aspects of destruction and aspects of memory and stuff I don't know as well.
Amazing.
Indeed.
A grand scale spell that affects people's memories. All of things I've never heard of. This could shake the very foundation of magic itself.
It sure could.
Well,
I do have... Well, I have important news, but before then, I shall introduce you to my compatriot. And
yes, I do believe introductions are in order. So you watch as Gale does a very quick, or not quick, but very affluent bow to you, Magnus, as she says, I can tell you, Genasi. I will save my questions for later. I do have many. You see, my dissertation was actually on Genasi kind, so it's incredibly exciting to meet you. Tell me, never mind. My name is Gale. I am Lady of the House, Arathian.
I'm Magnus Centuri.
Roll a deception check!
Ah, fuck you! Nerd! Where are any of my D20s?
I don't know, dude. Well, I like like some kind of fucking nerd who knows what a D20 is. Not that I'm holding 5 or 6 of them right now.
Currently. That's That's much better.
Keep your camera. Oh.
Oh my god. Dude, what the fuck was that? Deception.
Enrichment time.
Enrichment time in my enclosure.
In my enclosure.
I
Yeah.
got
My
a,
safe space.
I got a 19.
D is my safe space, guys.
What did you say, Alice?
I got a 19 on my
You got a
deception.
19. Let's see what she gets.
Oh wait, I don't have to use one of those.
Huh?
Huh?
So she looks at you and kind of narrows her eyes for a second before she says, "Very well, Magnus Centauri. It is lovely to see you accompanying with Daenerys. I assume you're one of the band of the." She looks at you for help, Daenerys.
The self-proclaimed Band of the Wildstorm.
Yes. And where are the other 3?
Long
Well-
story, and
One of
Who
them
of-
is currently challenging her brother, apparently.
You watch as she goes like slack-jawed, like,
He's not the brightest.
the fool?
he make a fool of himself.
Oh, absolutely, from day one.
How so?
Well, when he got here, he teleported into the Great Tree, and he had a child with him, and then he started spouting nonsense about knowing you and how you had died, and from then on, we were all like,
Pause. Rewind.
No, I didn't
Daenerys
say
died.
that Tan died. I said that I
"We
didn't
watched her
know how.
die."
I said that I did not know. I did not tell him. I did not tell them anything.
Okay. My mistake. From there, he started spouting about knowing you and having some vital information for Varus or something, and then 3 days later, he challenged him to a duel. Or to an elemental challenge.
Is this seat taken? And she points to the seat next to the Gale's throne.
No, please, go ahead.
Oh, well, one of our friends, one of great importance, unfortunately fell in the grand battle. The other betrayed us, and though I am built as a fool, and he proceeds to make a fool of himself in the Floating Isles, but I believe he's redeemable at some point.
Well, I must take your word for it. As she says that, she kind of looks over to a guard and she says, "Take us to watch over Varus for a moment, please." The guard nods and begins to turn a wheel on the ship and turns the ship to start heading towards Varus's location.
Yes, well, I don't know how to say this politely. When we were fighting this last battle, I fought a
Oh,
great
and
enemy.
Daenerys, you know how I feel about. I've told you, especially when you left, you shouldn't be fighting a lady such as yourself. Why can't this bow do it for you?
Well, I tend to be stronger than this bow.
Oh, is he truly that weak?
Physically, he is strong. Magically, I am inclined far beyond his abilities.
Oh, well, naturally.
We fight alongside each other.
Very well. Continue what you were saying. She seems incredibly disgruntled at that.
Well, I don't think you're going to like what I have to say. There was a man who used shadow as a weapon, and he murdered me.
Gale is looking out at the ocean and doesn't say anything as you say that before she kind of just turns her head towards you and she says, "Say that one more time."
There was a man who used shadow as a weapon who murdered me.
Daenerys, do we need to take you to a sick bay?
No. The news that I have for you is that I accepted my role into my newest of many titles. I literally forgot the title.
Glow tender.
I spoke to our chimera, and I took the role of the grove tender.
Gale looks to you, Magnus. What have you done to her?
Nothing. She would never have the power to undo herself.
Daenerys, speak very plainly. For if you don't, and the words that you are saying are untrue, should even the Chahal catch wind of this, tell me the absolute truth and do it now. You can see in your aunt's eyes the woman who has basically raised you. You know her inside and out, and she has the most frightful look on her face that you have ever seen.
Iris holds out her hand and takes Scales in hers. Wouldn't lie to such a grand scale. You taught me better. It was the only way I could stay alive.
Though it is true. It's all true. Everything. The Chimera. Our creation. Our history.
Does Daenerys know of any of unique powers that she got for being the grove tender?
Yeah, you can feel sources of life anywhere in the world, and if you try hard enough, you can probably have other people feel it too. You can't pinpoint what they are, but you can tell that they're sources of life.
For example, and what are the nearest creatures?
The nearest creatures would be Magnus and the guard.
And in the clouds, maybe?
Definitely some fin raptors for sure. Things like that.
For example, in the distance over there, there's a creature. I can sense the presence.
Gale kind of looks out for a second. Do you want to try and show her with your newfound power?
Sure.
Make a nature check, please.
Where the fuck is my dice? There it is. I'm so glad this is my best stat. Not quite, but that's a 19.
19. You feel the energy of life around you swell into your hands, and Gale's eyes widen as you see a green thread appear, leading you in the direction that you said. And she sees the same thing too, and she says, "By the elements. By the Chimera. Our forefathers. Our purpose. Our destiny."
listening.
She just goes silent.
I don't want to meddle with the ties between you, I, or the family. I don't take this role as meaning a superiority of any sort. I have a deep respect for the decision that I made. You taught me to care about the world and care about the world I will.
Well, this is a lot of news. Why are you back? Truly. I understand that you came to get your friend Bo,
Yes.
but what are you doing here, and what are you doing there? You have grown so much in the time I saw you last in Eris. What is so urgent? What is so pressing to force you to adapt so quickly?
Daenerys turns to look at Magnus and then looks out into the white sea, cloudy seas. Gale, do you remember the stories you used to tell me about the Great War? How innocent people of our kind were dying. How
Yes.
there was tyranny and destruction and unjust and in the mainland there is something I have discovered that I don't quite understand. When I arrived, I came in contact with creatures. They were of a black substance, and they were trying to attack everyone around us. So, as one would do, we defended the land, and that's how I got to know this one here. Apparently, this fluid, these black creatures, they take rain across the land, and they are created by someone to cause destruction. To my knowledge, and the conversations I've had with the king, they're on the verge of war. The largest scale war that has probably ever happened. And when I met the Chimera was very weak. It asked me to serve it in a way to protect nature itself. So I come back to the Floating Isles because someone much more powerful than me brought my friend Bo to Arathia because they deemed Arathia as a safe place. And as do I. We've seen so much together. And I lost a dear friend of mine. And finally, you, Magnus, see Daenerys breaking,
Oh no, pretty bird, no.
and Daenerys starts bawling. She starts crying.
Gale grabs you and holds you. As you begin to
Sorry.
sob, she looks at you, Magus. This war she speaks of. Does it intend to take Erathia as well?
We don't know. That's why we come with a warning.
Okay.
Information. We don't know. So we come with a warning and information. And an ask for aid. If Arakretia and its lands and its people will give it.
If life itself is so weak, as to beg you for aid, I can only pray that whatever scale you are talking about, we can fight on.
Arathia has many armies. We have the advantage of being in the air. It's
Yes.
hard enough for them to get here. Doesn't mean I'm not scared.
But we are at a disadvantage when it comes to sheer force of arms.
Yes.
We are a weak people.
Yes.
And feel. And at that, you will watch as Bo goes into the jungle as the day begins to set. And would any of you like to say anything as he gets attacked by a lion?
If this motherfucker dies. I'm gonna say this quietly to myself.
Okay.
I wonder if he's surprised to see a lion with wings.
He's seen one before. You were a lion with wings once in a fight.
You can transform now, Daenerys. Great job!
It's so sweet. I can transform into many things now.
Really?
Show her the lizard.
The
Do the lizard.
Oh,
Do the lizard.
right.
You're right.
Do the roar.
Daenerys will transform into a Velociraptor.
Wow! That's fascinating! Where did you see a creature such as that?
Daenerys will transform back. Well, we were in an estate.
Well.
Um,
An estate populated by those?
no. We were in the Fire Genasi estate of some pretty horrible
She
people.
points at you immediately, Magnus.
No,
She
no,
says,
no, 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 no.
You
no,
own those?
no. No. Different fire genasies.
There's multiple estate houses?
You heard of the Ember Heights?
Only very distantly.
Well, they demanded to meet with me.
Oh,
And
the
so-
Ember Hides? No, she wouldn't have. She would. No, I've never heard of that name. She would have heard of the Odiumatius.
They demanded to meet with me. And then they had a lot of exotic animals. They're the reason that I got kidnapped and I died, though.
it's a really, really long story.
It's fine. I just know that if I ever get my hands on the person that harmed you, I would rip them to shreds.
He's on a few lists.
I don't really know what happened to him, to be honest.
Well, either way, it looks like, your bow iron belt has miraculously won the first challenge. Didn't expect it with those bags that are so heavy.
Nurse tries to think back to if she's lifted those bags before.
Yeah, you've tried them. At the time, they were incredibly heavy for you, but now it's like, whatever. Those are like 20 pounds.
Daenerys is swole now.
Daenerys is fucking ripped for a
Daenerys
bird.
is the most ripped Era Cochrane.
In the brain and in
Brain and brawn.
Well, the unfortunate thing about this event is that humans are much stronger than us.
Yes, but I mean, are they really that much stronger?
I mean, that man carried all of our camping supplies across the country.
And how much did that weigh?
I've seen him lift.
60 pounds?
I've seen him lift a grown man once or twice.
Didn't he lift up his horse once?
He did, actually.
Did he?
I don't know.
When he was lifting up Dusty when he died.
Oh my god,
Oh my
that's
god!
right.
Dude!
Holy fuck. How
Kratos horse!
What is a horse and how much does it weigh?
Oh my goodness, you will never believe this
Like a
on
hippogriff
scale.
without wings.
It's a griffin without wings and with a dumb face.
With a dumb face!
Really?
Yes.
It's amazing.
Daenerys, can
It's-
you turn into a horse?
Oh, yes. She turns into a horse.
Okay, let me roll something. The boat rocks on one side as you turn into a horse.
Immediately changes back.
Okay. That catapults it the other way. Magnus, make a dexterity saving throw.
Fuck! I got a nat one. Please tell me I go fucking flying.
You fucking
Shoo!
straight off the fucking boat.
Shit! I'm gonna-
Daenerys doesn't look as
gonna-
concerned as she should be.
I'm gonna fall for a little bit, and then I'm
So
gonna dimension
she
door
goes,
back up to the ship.
oh,
And it's just whoosh,
Oh!
black smoke.
oh,
Daenerys,
oh,
buoyancy.
are you all right?
I'm fine. It's like every other midday.
What? What?
Daenerys is just cackling up.
Tan, you know the laws of physics. That's not how they work.
What?
Yes, but horses are very silly creatures.
He's just. But.
All the Tarathian guards are flying around the boat.
Yeah, there are several that are like. Like looking for you, Magnus.
Oh,
How did you.
whoops.
What?
Can I? I'm gonna look at Gale and I'm gonna just flick my eyebrows. Just.
I don't know what that means! And we're going to go back to Bo.
Daenerys and I just look at each other, start laughing.
Oh, I love this.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, Iron Belt. Iron Belt. It's the dawn of the next day. You take a long rest as they give you a break in between challenges.
Oh.
What?
So, as you wake up, Varus is already packing and getting ready. You are currently on the stoop of the great tree. It overhangs you. And The announcer, as you get ready and as Uruk talks to you and tells you everything, says, "Very well. The next challenge will be water. Each contestant must take and fill at least one water skin with the water from the clouds between the islands. Each contestant will then be judged on how much water they collect, and if they collect more than the other, they will win." And Arak looks at you and he says, the only caveat is that you don't have a boat this time.
I don't what?
Well, because you're not carrying anything heavy, there are no boats provided. Normally, you're supposed to swoop with your wings down and fill a water skin. It takes days. Because getting a lot of moisture from a cloud into a little hole in a water skin is very difficult. It's meant to be a test of endurance. Whoever's more endurable with flying. You can't do that. And I've asked for a levy, and they refused. So you'll have to find a way to either fly or collect the water here on land.
Do I
There's
still
just the
have...
one that refused to levy. Lol.
Do you still have...
Do I still have the bag from the last challenge, dearest
Yes.
DM?
Absolutely. They will let you keep that if you choose because they think you're insane for choosing to keep it and they want to see you do it.
Hey, which means I still have water. Or not water, which means I still have rope.
Yes, you have rope and vines and wood.
Hey. Just let me know when the challenge is started.
Very well. Bo, you must bow to ready.
Oh, yeah. I'll try to mimic Varus's bow from yesterday.
Shake your ass,
So-
cowboy.
Are you shaking your ass?
Shake your ass. Shake it to the birds. Shake it to the bees. Shake your
What are you
ass,
doing?
cowboy.
How are you mimicking tail feathers?
Shake your ass.
I will use... If I use my hat, that puts me at risk of calling myself an asshat in front of all of these pompous people, and I can't do that.
True. But would
So
they know
I'm-
what that means?
I don't know. I will use my poncho to mimic tail feathers. Like essentially, I'll be. I don't know. Like the closest thing that I can think of is essentially like the motion that like a bullfighter does whenever like it goes through the cape. Like
So,
he's like kind of twirling it around himself, and then he bows.
Very well. In doing so, the announcer says, "I see you've adopted a more respectable bow." And Varus gives a very nice, eloquent bow. Very well. Let the second challenge, water, begin. Varus immediately, boom, in one fluid motion, rockets into the air in a spiral and takes off. Very rudely kicking dust into your face while doing so.
And the crowd goes wild.
They do.
Yeah, go Varus!
They're like, as they rip open their shirt and shit, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like paint
It's like
feathers.
VAR.
Yeah.
They have it painted on their fucking
Yeah.
feathers.
One part of the crowd has Daddy Prince like on signs or something.
Yeah.
And the moment Bo moves, they're like, boo!
Yeah.
Yeah, the moment they start booing, Bo just looks up at them.
V-A-R-R-I-S Forest!
It's like a fucking varsity chant.
V-A-R-S, he is our kind of guy. V-A-R.
Bo's like at this point, like regrettably chanting with them.
In the middle of like a serious
V-A-R-R-S.
conversation,
It's really catchy.
Canaris is cheering for Varus.
10.
Like as he's gonna start tying a rope around the water skin. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm doing this. And he's essentially just going to try and like ladle, like kind of like swing the water skin around in the clouds and try and get up as much water as he can. How the fuck am I supposed to do this?
Why is that actually kind of smart though?
That's the most inventive way you thought of.
He's
Yeah.
a cowboy.
What
You
This
know
is
what?
redneck ingenuity at its
Fair
best.
enough.
This
Fair
is
enough.
redneck ingenuity at its
But-
And
fucking
as he's like,
finest.
as hold on, as he's like tying the rope around the water skin, he's just chanting along, just V-A-R-Y-S.
V-A-R-Y-S, my ass.
Bo, how long do you want to swing this bubble for? Before you check it.
2 hours, please.
You swing the bottle for 2 hours on the cliff edge of the floating island. You check it, and you have nary a drop in that fucking water skin.
Hey, cool. I'm gonna start taking out wood, or getting wood, seeing like what's the most durable pieces, start tying it together, and essentially I'm going to try and make like the closest thing I can to like an ice pick, because I want to like stab a piece of the wood into the cliffside and see if I can hang and get water like that.
Why?
I don't know, man. If I can't get it with the rope thing,
Listen,
Why wouldn't you just fish with the? It's on. If it's on a rope, you could just dangle it over the cliff.
piss in the canteen.
Piss in the canteen.
all right,
No!
Are you well hydrated? They might not be able to tell.
I am
Magnus
hydrated,
is
Cole.
just like on the edge watching Bo piss in the canteen.
They did not say how this water needed to be obtained.
Swallow a cloud.
That is true. They did not. Very specifically, Bo, they did not say how it needs to be obtained. It just has to be taken from a cloud.
I have no magic, Cole. What do you want me to do?
don't need magic.
You don't need magic.
Ilgrub,
I need
Ilgrub
it.
in fucking
I need it.
AA.
Need it. You know God doesn't need magic. Oh.
Alright, okay, if I don't need magic, then I will try and like fish for water, essentially. Cole?
Okay, buddy.
This is the weirdest
Okay.
version of Stardew Valley I've ever seen.
Yeah.
How long do you want to go for, pal?
Like another, like an hour, I'm gonna try like leaving it.
As you wait for another hour, Varus comes back with his first bottle. Full to the brim. And places it on the ground, looks at you, kind of panting a little bit, and then takes back off.
V-A-R-Y-S.
Well, do you think Varus is strong enough to hold my body weight?
This is gonna be really funny. This is gonna be really funny.
I don't know. Does Bo think he's strong enough to hold his body weight?
Nobody's willing to try.
Then go
yes.
ahead and try for me.
Attacking the crowned prince. Great move.
10 out of 10, Bo.
If I jump up, no. Oh my god, how do I beat it?
Try it.
How do I be
Okay,
inventive
then.
about this?
You take the bottle.
Shut up! You're not there.
And switch it? Yeah, that'll be great.
It didn't say how it needs to be obtained.
Oh my god, I can just steal his bottle of water. Don't mind me.
So, watching as Bo takes Varus's bottle, Gale goes, "That's cheating." Wait, is it?
Is it cheating
Don't-
if they didn't say how
No.
he has to get it?
But never in 200 years has anyone ever done that.
Actually, I'm gonna do this as well. He's gonna fill Is it like a clear water bottle, or is it like a water
Clear
skin?
water. It's a fucking water skin.
Well, no,
I
what
don't
I'm
think
saying
it's
is
a
like,
clear water bottle.
no, I'm saying is it like a glass
Do
bottle?
they have oil?
A glass bottle, Cole.
It's not a glass bottle, kid. I'm just
Cool.
fucking with you. It's a water skin.
Is there sand? Are we on like a cliffside with
there's
sand?
plenty of dirt.
I'm gonna
there,
fill
right?
Varus's water bottle with sand.
Oh my god, I've taught him too well.
Fuck, that's actually really smart because he was gonna check the weight of it.
I've
Mhm.
taught him too well. 10. Do you see what he's doing?
And he's gonna continue like faking trying to get water with his like lasso thing.
Are you going to be like actually trying?
I'm gonna be actually trying, but like the bottle of water is not gonna be my concern right now.
Okay, gotcha. Roll a d4 for me to see how long it takes you to want to keep going, I guess.
4.
But never. But he's not.
Well, it's just
Has
looks
a
at
human
Magnus.
has what? I'd do it too. If I can't fly, and if I can't grab water, what if you stabbed a tree? Do trees give water, right?
Looks back at Gale.
Why would you stab a tree?
Well, because trees.
You have to get it from the cloud. That's the rule.
That's fair. It was gotten from a cloud.
But no one's ever done this. It's unprecedented.
There's a first time for everything.
She looks very upset, but
I
quiets
think-
down.
I think he's fired.
Daenerys has changed.
10? Can we do that?
Can we?
If he
Can we?
Can we? Daenerys, what are you gonna do if he beats your brother?
I'm gonna beat him up.
I'm gonna
take that cowboy's face and I'm
You
gonna
do
shove
hear-
it into a lake.
Bo, you hear Magnus's voice from somewhere beyond shouting, "Win!"
What the?
You don't know
heck?
where from. There's like 20 boats in the sky.
It's
You
just
know
a
what? I've already
fucking
lost my-
terrified look.
And then
I've
you
already
just
lost
hear
my
like
mind.
Daenerys,
you hear Daenerys
"Lost!"
scream. It's just like, you petty cowboy.
He's like waving with his mechanical arm.
Okay, Bo, what'd you roll?
On my D4?
Yep.
4.
You spend the next 4 hours waving your fucking canteen around.
Like a nerd.
Varus comes back hour 5 with a second canteen and sets it down. He picks up his other one and kind of tosses it in his hand. He's like, yeah, okay. Puts it down. He sits down. He looks over at you. He says, "That'll never work, you know. The rotation blocks off any water from getting in. I mean, I know they made you daft, but...
He's just not saying anything. He's not responding.
You can feel Daenerys glaring at you.
Another normal Tuesday.
I must say, I do respect the effort on your part.
If humans didn't have effort, Prince Forest, we all would have been extinct.
I suppose that's true. What with the no wings and lack of skill when it comes to magic. Although from what I've heard, there are some rather talented humans.
Depends on who you ask.
I've asked my sister. And he gets up one more time and he into the air, although this time much more labored.
And as he leaves the bag, I'm gonna fill the other one up with sand, and I'm gonna take the other one and just continue. And this time, I'm gonna try and be still and leave the bag instead of trying to swing it. And kind of just go up and down, trying to get water fairly as well.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. You do get a little bit. You get, like, enough to, like, wet your chops if you wanted to drink it, but you do currently have 2 water skins? Or 1 water skin?
2. I'm switching Boris and mine's out.
Oh, yeah. Where are
So
you
he has-
keeping the ones that you filled?
Because Boris says, I don't know, where do I put it?
I don't know, Bo. Where do you put it?
At the tree?
Okay.
I'll go to the tree where with my two full water skins. Where do I put water? Do I just pour it in? What do I do?
The announcer that you're asking very panickedly goes, don't pour it out. You can leave
Alright.
it right here with me.
Can I get another water skin, please?
Yes, absolutely. And he gives you
Thank-
another one.
Can I get another 2? Sorry, I don't mean to be demanding.
Demanding.
Or I don't mean to be rude. That's what I mean.
Rude.
Yes, sir.
What kind of bird is the announcer?
This is a bird of paradise. It is one of the Arathians, and it is very clearly, after you say that, mimicking your speech patterns, Bo.
Oh. Well, it's nice to have a chat with you again. Thank you very kindly for the water skins.
Thank you
I'm gonna-
very kindly.
You're doing great.
No, you are. You're doing exceptionally well for a human.
Thank you. Really,
Thank you.
that means a lot. And he's
That
just gonna
means a
go
lot.
back.
Daenerys leans over to her mother. I don't think that
Her
they should
mother?
be talking, or not her mother, to Gail. Sorry. I don't think we should be talking to the Wraithians.
No, that's a horrible idea.
I'm kind of worried about it.
Yes, we should probably discuss with their house before word spreads of how he can be.
Let's switch that announcer.
Very well. Shall we put a
It's too late now, motherfuckers.
shall we put a house of the Rasian?
The Yalsum
Sure.
has spread.
The Yalsum.
It's the new.
I've spread the
Arabian
gospel.
disease. Oh god.
That sounds good to me.
Very well. She leans over to one of the guards. She says, would you please ask them to change out the announcer? We fear it might have negative impacts on, House Arathia. Very well. And at that, we are going to bring tonight's session to an end.
Thank you all so much for freaking watching us one. We really appreciate it here in the studio.
We will.
Have a good night. Bye, Dweeb.
Bye,
Bye,
bye.
Dweeb! Bye, Dweeb! Bye, Dweeb!
I'm so sorry.
Bye,
You did this to yourself.
I don't know where it came from.